This Evil Ted Quickie is brought to you by MomoCon, the anime convention that literally everybody's going to. Right now, if you go to the Evil Ted webpage, evilted.blogspot.com, and enter the MomoCon contest that's going on right now for the 2014 membership, you get a chance to win a weekend pass, guys. Come on. Weekend pass is awesome. And one lucky winner will be able to win a lifetime pass. I mean, hell, that's awesome. Come on. Lifetime pass to go to MomoCon in Atlanta. Come on. Welcome to an Evil Ted Quickie. It's 4 o'clock in the morning right now, and I'm literally just whispering. I don't know. I just feel like kind of recording a bit because I've had some stuff on my mind, just a little bit. About a month from now, I'll be 26, which is crazy as shit because I'm literally the quarter life crisis mode right now, which sucks. But still, I'm constantly looking for a job. I'm still living at home, and I'm literally just got to the point where it's like, you know what? I need to move out because I need to be there on my own. I'm tired of just taking the bus to my friend's house and staying in there, sleepover, I'm 25, I'm too old to have sleepovers. I'd rather, if I'm gonna stay at my friend's house, I'd rather be there, 24/7 as a roommate or something, It's frustrating. It's frustrating a lot. And on top of that, I'm pretty much, I need to try to get in some kind of shape or form or something there, because I don't know. I mean, right now, I hate to say this right now. I'm single. I'm single, living at home right now, guys, which sucks. It sucks a lot, but at this point at my age, I thought, even in high school, I thought, you know what? I just want to make movies. I want to settle down, or whatever. I want to be able to have my first kid, but none of that's happened. I don't know what the fuck happened, but it just happened. So, it's something that has been on my mind a lot, and I don't know. And this is not, as much as I love the podcast and I love doing the podcast and whatnot, it doesn't exactly pay the bills, it doesn't really, it's just something I love doing, I mean, I would constantly do it for free, if someone asked me to, and that's what I love helping people doing it, but, still, wasn't my original intention to do a podcast at first. It wasn't my original intention was I'm gonna make a movie, and so, my goal, I guess, for 26 is to make a movie at some point, because if I get to 30 and I haven't made one at all, even if it's just a crappy one, just a little crappy one that me and my friends can go and look back and be like, hey, remember when I did this and spent that much money doing it? It's exactly just, and it's, I don't know, I'm kind of sick of dealing with everything here at the house, pretty much, my parents' house, and, I love my family, I love them, but there's just some things where it's just I need time to be alone. I want to be alone right now. I don't really feel like dealing with everybody else's issues, And believe me, throughout my life, I've had so many issues that it's not even funny. I'm not going to get too much deep into them. I'll save that for the book, guys. No. And see, that's another thing. I try to turn everything into a joke. And which has me thinking, I try to turn everything into a joke, but it also has me thinking, is that how people see me, as a joke? Am I a joke to you? I mean, still, I'm like making people laugh or whatever. But I literally feel like people just kind of treat me like, okay, Corey, just sit down and don't hurt yourself, kind of deal, you know? And it kind of sucks to be treated like that. If I am getting treated like that, I mean, it could just be in my head still, you know? It's like I have a hard time having a conversation with people. Just as I'm like, at this point, like, seem very antisocial if it's not in front of a microphone, big time, which sucks, you know, because I mean, I can sit at a bar and look around and everybody's having a conversation about something, and I cannot relate to anybody, and I don't know why. It's crazy. It's um, I don't know. I mean, you know, I like doing these Evil Ted quickies too. You know, they give me time to talk a little bit about, you know, maybe it's something I just watched, or, you know, whatever's on my mind, you know, but still, it's something I couldn't do without the podcast. And you know what? And I still love doing a podcast, like, big time, but it just got to a point where I feel like I need to try to balance everything out. I want to keep giving you guys content and stuff, but I feel like I need to balance everything out first. And I think by the end of this year, I'm gonna put the show on hold for just a little bit so I can get shit straight. Unless by then shit gets straight, you know, and I don't, you know, I just need my life to happen, to finally happen, you know? I just need it to finally happen. And at this point in my life, I don't know if it will happen. I don't want to be 35 still living under the same roof as my family. I want to start my own family someday, you know? And, you know, it's one of those things where I have to take a step. In it. I mean, it's easy for me to say that now, but it's really hard for me to do it because I overthink everything. I literally overthink everything. Even when it comes to women, I definitely overthink everything. You know, it's like, what if she doesn't like me? What if she thinks I'm some kind of creep? You know, what if she thinks I'm just like some kind of man child of something? Which, you know, I guess I am a bit, but still, we're all a little bit childish at heart. You know? And, you know, I may still like comic books. I may still like nerd stuff or whatever, but that's who I am, guys. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change a thing, like, about that part of me, you know? What I do want to do is make that part of me inject it into the adult version of me, you know? And I'm physically an adult, you know? But in my mind, I feel like I'm an adult. But I want people to see me as an adult, you know? Not a joke, not a guy who sits down in front of a podcast and be like, oh yeah, you're just doing your little hobby, you know? I mean, there's still stuff I want to do. I want to act. I want to make my own film. I want to go across this fucking country and just meet people, you know? I'd rather go around and just, like, hey, you're interesting. Why don't you sit down with me and we'll do a show about it. We'll do an episode about it, you know? You know? And I've always had that mentality, the entertainer mentality a bit, where it's just like, you know, I want to do this. I want to make you laugh. I want to, whatever, and, I know, a few comedians, and it's for some reason very intimidating to be the funny guy around comedians because, they do that for a fucking living, but I rather just, I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out someday, but I guess not now. Uh, I don't know. Let's see. Recently I pretty much just got glasses. I just ordered them actually, and turns out my right eye is much weaker than my left eye. Due to me rubbing my right eye a lot, I guess. It's one of those things that the doctor said my eyes were in the shape of basketballs, which is fucking weird because and ironic for my family because our family is a basketball family. Well, my family is, but me personally, I am not a sports guy at all. I'm just, I don't know. Um, and they're definitely interesting when it comes to sports. I mean, I do, do some work for them at some point, and it's not like a steady paycheck, anything. It's just like, oh, it'll be paid at this event, you know, but it's, hell, if I got a steady paycheck doing that, that'd be awesome. But other than that, I'm not a sport guy at all. I'm just, I don't sit down and watch sports on TV or anything. I'd rather sit down, watch a movie, sit down, watch some TV. Hell, I barely watch TV now. Like, most of the stuff I usually watch much later because it's just, more convenient for me. I'm usually on Facebook or Twitter half the time anyway. I'm promoting something, or I'm usually on Microsoft Word writing something. At this moment, I'm literally working on a song, and that's another thing. Like, I've always been very musically, I'm inspired by music. I've always been just, I don't know. I've always been musically, I don't know. I mean, I know what I'm saying. I don't know a lot. Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, so like I said, I'm working on a song right now. And I'm pretty much, I'll just give out the name. It's called Con Girl. And, it's been a while since I've written music. I actually had someone teach me how to write lyrics, which is one thing I know how to do very well. The man, I call him Mr. Cleveland. His full name's Cleveland Jones, which you guys could probably hear his music somewhere now, but he sat down and took the time, I remember it too. And I think I pretty much begged him. It's like, how do you write a song? Teach me how to write a song, because I have an idea for a song, but I don't know how to write it out like that. I don't know anything about writing lyrics. Excuse me. But he sat down with me, and we were at a pool, I think, and helped me at least get my song started. And for like a week straight, this is when I was in high school too, so like for a week straight, I spent time writing a song, and the song was called Notice Me. It had this little Latin beat, but, for some reason in my mind, there was one girl I had in mind at that point. One girl I had a big crush on, big time. A girl named Sherry. And I think I was like either in 9th grade or 10th grade when I wrote that song, but like I was literally just like the shy big guy who didn't talk that much. And, I can surprisingly not get noticed in a crowd big time. Which sucks, but, it's kind of like, it's convenient at the same time, too, because that means I can just disappear if I wanted to. anytime, actually. Because no one questions my motives at all, which is weird. It's like, that guy's just normal or whatever, I guess. But I don't see myself as normal. I see myself as pretty much a weirdo kind of guy, and I embrace that big time. Not like creepy weirdo, but like, oh yeah, I'm don't like the norm at all. Um, One person who's kind of taught me how to kind of embrace myself is, you've heard her on the show before, but my friend Ginger, she's kind of taught me I need to learn to kind of embrace myself and do what I need to do, and it's something I'm doing. I know I've been kind of bad about some things, but still, um, and I try to keep a cool head about everything. One thing I try not to put my mind, at ease is like the past, because I've had a pretty bad past or whatever myself. I mean, I've gone through some harsh stuff. I've constantly fought with my stepdad big time, and to the point where we literally got in fist fights. Even me growing up as a kid, there was one point where him and my friend Theo got into a fight, all over because he thought Theo looked at some porn on our computer or whatever that we had, and it got to the point where I had to hold Theo back because he was gonna beat the shit out of him or whatever. And Theo's a very strong guy. That morning Theo just left, and I don't think, that was the last time I think Theo stayed, at my house. So, and at that point, just Theo understood how I kind of felt, and he kind of understood about how I felt about him, you put your family, and there's a lot of stuff or whatever I want to say, but I already know that a lot, I get like a consequences or something. A lot of people would say, just be like, don't say that, don't talk about it. But, sometimes you gotta get stuff off your chest, and I'm pretty sure someday I'll get the stuff off my chest, just not now. I've covered this with my mom or whatever. This is, she probably sees him. She likes a version of him or whatever, I guess. But, there are just some things that he does that are just nerve-wracking, and then you kind of question, like, why would you do something like that? Why do you do stuff like that? And he has this whole thing, it's like, oh, you don't want people to see or whatever. But you know what? People are going to see, because eventually either I'm going to talk, I'm going to talk, my sister's going to talk, or my little brother's going to talk. And you raise your kids. Here's what I don't understand. Why do you raise your children? Why do you treat your children like they're fucking slaves? They're not slaves. They're not there to constantly get stuff for you just because you don't want to get up. Just because you slept all day. I have a hard time recording in this house because of the constant yelling and bickering and just, ugh. I guess it's just, there's just some stuff that are just, gets on my nerves. I don't know. I'm trying to think. We've also, I'm sick of dealing with shit here. I look up to other people. I look at other people and their family and be like, you can't really judge people by what you see on the outside, You gotta see people for what they are on the inside, pretty much. And I kind of hope that someday someone will see me for who I am on the inside rather than just what I am on the outside, because there's so much more to me. There's so much more that I could show you. So you all, actually, and that's my goal. I want to be able to express myself, and there's some ways that I don't know how. Like, I like writing music, but I don't know how to play an instrument, I don't, and it's not too late for me to learn how to play an instrument, but I kind of want to get it out now, and, I'm grateful that I have friends that will help me out, I'm very grateful, big time. What's been surprising about the whole podcast thing for me is the fact that I've met so many cool people. Like, I literally did a podcast earlier with this guy Josh, for a Doctor Who thing, and, it's awesome, it's awesome that I can put out there, hey, I'm doing this Doctor Who week thing, I need some guests, can somebody help me out? And he stepped right up. He's a champ, a big champ, and it's awesome that he did it. And, we sat there, we talked about the Ninth Doctor aligned now as his favorite Doctor, and we talked about, he's talked about wanting to travel backwards with the series rather than forward, and see, why he is the way he is. He's dissect the Doctor, which would be kind of awesome to see. I know that for his podcast, which, I'll put out there on the interweb soon, coming close, that they're doing like a 10-day thing leading up to, the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. But yeah, it's, I enjoyed that. And of course, there are different podcasters out there. Like I've talked about her before, and I might probably keep talking to her because for some reason she fascinates me. Kathy Hopkins, who does anxiety party podcast. Podcast is not in it, but anxiety party. I think she's bloody brilliant. She took something. She seems like she took something that she probably has some anxiety issues, and just turned it, like, made it into something. I think she's gonna go pretty far. I say, and I was actually talking to her the other day, about podcasting. I'll hit her up every once in a while, because she's still, like I said, she fascinates me for some reason. And we ended up talking a little bit about podcasting, but we just started talking about Star Trek too, which, I'm kind of a fan of Star Trek, and I love those movies. Those are my favorite movies, maybe not the first one, but, but it's like, my God, it's rare that I get this. Still, to me, it's rare for me to find a woman that awesome in my neck of woods at all. At least for me, because most of the girls that I know here are like, I don't know if they're as nerdy as me or anything. They're just, yeah, they're cool, but they doubt they have the interests as I do, they're usually like artsy girls or whatever, or girls who, really like a certain kind of music. And I guess it's because of, a lot of people I hang out with, and I love those guys, so believe me, I love the people I hang out with, but sometimes you just need to find a girl who's, I don't know, who's pretty awesome like that. And actually, you know what? If I could find a girl who's half as awesome as that chick I was talking about before, Kathy, that'd be awesome. But still, and I'm saying this like, awesome as like I'm her, like as a new, her as a podcasting, friend period or whatever. Because who wouldn't want to be friends with her? But yeah, it's just yeah. And there's other podcasters out there that I've come to admire, Mick from the BUI podcast for a while. I kind of look up to him a little bit, still a bit. I mean, I don't really talk to him in a while, which I probably need to at some point. Ethan Dentmeyer is definitely one of the guys I look up to because I see what he does with his show. And I think it's brilliant. I mean, hell, 35 countries, dude, listens to his show, and that's like, whoa. And he has people on his show that are just pretty fucking awesome. And if, let's see, I'm trying to think, DJ James Franco, from, The Breaks, that's on Smodcast, and somewhat of Hollywood Babylon. I never thought I'd be chill with him at all, either. Because, to me, most of these guys are pretty, just, up there on the star status for me, and, at least podcasting-wise. Hell, Chris Gore started following me on Twitter, which is really just whoa, Chris Gore. He does a podcast called Pod Crash, which is pretty funny. And I just got to know a lot of people. Hell, there's one podcast called Pod Out Awful that got picked up by Adult Swim. That was whoa. I never thought that would happen to someone who was kind of started off where we all started off in podcasting, And, it's all about presenting yourself. It's all about doing. It's all about doing. That's about it, pretty much. You want to present yourself in a good light, but you also want to kind of, a lot of podcasters want to just make people laugh, Not even just people. They want to make themselves laugh, And that's one of the things I admire a lot about other podcasters, They do these shows, they get interesting people on there. And hell, I've had interesting people on my show too. I mean, I've constantly talked about it before. But like I said, I use an example, and I'll probably use her as an example forever, comparing the show. But Misty Dawn, I never thought I'd get her on the show at all. I blew my mind. I was like, holy shit. I was like, are you sure you want to come on this show? This Evil Teddy Bear podcast? We're just a small little thing. You know that, right? And she said yes. And I was like, holy shit. And, I'm forever grateful that she will, that she said yes, And I listened to the podcast. I'm not sure if she's still doing it or not now, because of some stuff. But, she was on Bagged and Boarded that Matt Cohen does, which is, I think, he still does. I don't know. I gotta go check iTunes at some point. It's been a while since I checked in, but I looked at it I was like, that guy kind of started up just, out of I guess, doing stuff for Kevin or Smodcast or VSQ board or whatever, and just helping him out. God, this turned into more than an Evil Ted Wiki. This just turned into a full podcast, actually. Which I'll probably end it soon. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just, this is just me ranting and philosophizing, life or whatever, philosophizing life or a little bit, trying to work stuff out, I guess. I mean, I've been literally ranting for a while now. And every podcaster I talk to, whether it's Rambo from A Little Punch Drunk, whether it's the guys from 7 Days a Geek, whether it's just hell, everybody on the Pod Gods Network, I look up to those guys a lot because they're each doing their own thing. They're each trying to live their lives at the same time, but somehow we all have something in common, and it's podcasting. Even the guys from Legacy Radio, I was on that show the other day, and you know what? I had a blast. I was like, we have our reasons that we started it, started podcasting. We all have our reasons for living and stuff, but still, we're all still trying to make a living off of regular life time. And if any day, I think any day, if someone said, here's a check for such and such amount, we're going to invest into your podcast, that would be awesome. We would all be like, awesome. We could start planning, doing live shows, maybe doing tours of something, maybe special events or something, get better equipment. Like, I would love to have a podcasting studio. I would love to do that, but right now it's kind of hard to do that when you're using your mother's computer, to do podcasts on, which is not necessarily a good computer. It's a Toshiba satellite, and I had one of those before, and just like for some reason, every time you open it, it's the back of it comes up, after a while, which Toshiba, you got to get your shit straight about that. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I love doing the whole podcasting thing. I love just doing all of it. But like I said before, I need to get shit straight at some point, and I think 26 is going to be the year that I need to shit or get off the pot. As Randall once said in Clerks, shit or get off the pot, or whatever. And brought it back up in, Clerks 2. Or no, it wasn't Randall, it was Dante. Fuck, guys, I'm losing my Kevin Smith memory. Means I gotta go back and watch Clerks again. I remember Randall saying something about it in Clerks 2. Oh, but you know what? I think we just passed 20 years of that, Clerks being made. And I'm not sure if there's a 20th anniversary thing going on or not. But, I wouldn't mind talking about Clerks just a little bit, with somebody on the show. Yeah, I think I need to go to sleep, guys. It's 4. It's after 4, actually, and I'm pretty sure I got something to do tomorrow. I'm not sure. So yeah, for the this is an Evil Ted Quickie, my ass. Evil Ted Quickie / podcast / whatever. This has been Corey. Look out for our next episode, which next week, Stephanie Erb is going to be on the show. That's right, the Herbness is coming on here, and I think I named the episode Herb Necessity, which is awesome. Because I don't know, for some reason I started thinking the bare necessity, and then it's like, you know what, I like that word necessity, and it works with her name, Herb Necessity, which, you can pretty much use anything with that. So yeah, Stephanie Erb is going to be on next week on the show, so awesome. Yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. This has been an Evil Teddy Bear production.